The Kinsey study. So that was, of course, on men and then on women, which followed. But the methods by which the Kinsey study was was collecting data is questionable at best because they were stimulating underage children and babies to see if they would orgasm. It's just not like the movie, all right? And the Kinsey studies have been used as justification for homosexual behavior. But in reality, the test or the study has not been confirmed. There is, as far as I know, there has not been another study of its sort since then. So all this really does is represent a snapshot of a time and place in the United States where this was happening. So it is not a realistic nor a shall I say an empirical logical conclusion, because if it hasn't been replicated, then it's not real, right? It again, as I said, it's only a drop of water in a bucket, or a bucket of water in an ocean. So the issue is that why do people decide to be gay? And it's fairly easy to figure out. One, their hormones are fucked up. Two, they were sexually abused and they were conditioned into such behaviors. Or three, they're disabled and retarded. So they're cognitively unable to discern the difference between sticking their genitals in a sphincter or in a vulva. It makes no difference to them what hole they stick it into. And like, okay, the crossing of the wires and so forth, brain damage is usually associated, again, say with the gauge, Phineas gauge. So any kind of brain injury, traumatic injury, or RSI in some cases, repetitive stress injury. And when I'm talking about a repetitive stress injury, I'm also applying the same terminology to the mental space. So in the case in which someone attempts to condition themselves to conform to an ideal by masturbating to tranny porn to the point for which they no longer feel any shame, or they no longer feel those funny feelings in which something tells them in their gut that it is wrong. And this conditioning is also a means of torture and a means of exerting dominance over other individuals. And in some cases, straight men will commit acts of homosexuality upon other straight men so as to assert dominance. But this is really fucked up. Like, why would you do such a thing? That is the most oh my god, is I'm hurling right now in my fucking bed. Okay? So I once said to someone, because of my knowledge of this, when I was, I used to be friends or friendly or at least diplomatic with homosexuals. But now that's changed for obvious reasons, and not just my individual life experiences. I once said to this person that I'm like maybe a one, incidentally homosexual, but that's the Kinsey's this depiction or this interpretation here. One used to be actually intrusive thoughts, but then again, if I'm going to speak from experience, that's from conditioning by the culture. I did not have those thoughts before I observed pornography. So, in which the point which I've said, okay, so that pornography is a form of propaganda, and it has been used as a weapon. It has also been used by other groups with ulterior motivations. So, and again, the other part of this is the misapplication of the data, in which it is used as a justification for pedophilia. Oh, this person is a minor attracted person, and it's not their fault. It's just a variation of humanity. I don't believe that to be true at all. I really don't. I really don't. Okay. So yes, I did lie to that person. I did. But what they did afterwards with that information is even worse. Okay. See, this is the issue, is when you put information in the wrong hands. And this is why universities were constructed in such a way so that people couldn't go around collecting the academic infinity gauntlet, right? Because if someone wants power and that's all they want, they usually end up committing an act of revenge, not just against one person, but multiple people. And then they start rewriting history, or other truths and factoids derived by logical deduction. Again, the minority does not prove the legitimacy of the majority, right? Homosexuality is not the exception that proves the rule. It really is not. And again, the example that I'll use is a fairly simple one, and it's dogs. It's dogs or deer, even. When that switch gets turned on, I'm sure a lot of you have seen that picture in which a doe is being mounted by like four different bucks, and then like the buck that's actually getting some action with the doe is getting it up the ass by three other bucks, which are younger, sexually immature, and you know probably rabid with some sort of parasite. And the same goes with dogs, because again, let's look up the parasite pill, because humans carry parasites. And the easiest way to communicate parasites is from the anus to the mouth, and frequently that's what that is what the parasite encourages the host to do, is to scratch their ass, to pick their ass, to get the feces and the eggs to go through the cycle again through the person's intestines. This is why we wash our hands, right? We don't handle animal feces with our bare hands, now do we? But then the idea is, oh, okay, so if you wear a condom and you douche your anus, that's going to be enough. I dare say it isn't, because the intestinal lining, as we know, is so very thin. So here's the thing, right? Toxoplasmosis is a very commonly known parasite that exists in the feces of cats, the domesticated cat. And it is documented by toxoplasmosis to alter the behavior of women, and that pregnant women are especially vulnerable to toxoplasmosis, because it gets communicated to the baby. You see, the issue was that in single disciplinary, you see this the fucking right on the front page. Okay. The thing is that before cross disciplinary study was done, is scientists in different fields generally didn't talk to each other. And then you have another kind of human behavior in which we all set forth in the world and we try to cut out our piece of the pie. And some people want more pieces of the pie than what they deserve because they're gluttons, they're greedy, and they'll eat everything in front of you, including the feces of cats.